class where you usually are with your best friend and she doesn't come to class. Now you usually don't think anything of it until the Grim Reaper walks in and sits in her seat. This is really dramatic, but just keep listening. So I'm sitting in class and I see my best friend's picture come up on our TV and it says in loving memory. Under that it says Jacqueline Sigmund has been killed by a drinking and driving car accident. The purpose of this presentation is to inform you about a program called Every 15 Minutes. When I'm finished, you'll have a better understanding of what this program is about, why drinking and driving is so serious, and how it affects you and everybody else around you. You're probably wondering why the introduction is so dramatic, so I will explain to you what this program is. You can find all this information on every15minutes.org. So basically, the Grim Reaper, this is how it all starts. The Grim Reaper walks in, and 7 students are picked from our school. It's usually 7 students that have an impact on our school, whether it's our star football player, our ASB president, someone who just has made an impact on a lot of students at our school, and they're picked to be the living dead. They walk around with white faces and kind of mind their own business on campus. They can touch you, but you can't touch them back, so it's really creepy, but at the same time, the realness that everyone gets involved in really makes an impact on the rest of the school. There's a bunch of memorials set up around our school with stories about the person, with letters, with pictures. People usually bring teddy bears or flowers or other things that you would usually bring when someone dies. And these students are just walking around with blank faces along with the Grim Reaper. That day at lunch, we have a simulation of a car crash, and the realness of it is crazy. We have our makeup team that's part of theater. They set up all these students. Someone is also picked to be killed in the car crash, and someone is picked to be as the driver who was under the influence. The fire department comes, and the police come, and they do a breathalyzer test, and the one who was killed in the car crash goes to the hospital, and his parents have to come and pull the plug on him. And the person who was picked as the drunk driver has to stay the night in jail and gets to experience what it's like to get a DUI and have to go through the whole court system. And the people who are picked as the living dead go to church and have sort of funeral service for themselves along with our full ASB students. And part of it is they have to walk up one by one to an open coffin, and there's a mirror at the bottom of it, and they have to look at themselves as if they were in the coffin. So it's super serious. No one takes it as a joke, even though their faces are painted white and they kind of can't say anything. And you can see in their faces that a lot of them are crying. It's a really emotional time. And then that's the parents pulling the plug on one of our students. And we also have a memorial site by our school where there's a bunch of trees grown, and every time someone actually gets killed in a drunk driving incident, they cut down the tree and they make it into a memorial. And then the next day we have an assembly, and all those students sit there as their parents come up and read them kind of like a letter, replying to a voice recording of them saying, "Dear Mom and Dad, every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies from an alcohol-related traffic collision, and today I died. I never had the chance to tell you." And they go on and say what they wanted to say. And then the one who was put in jail, they kind of go through, he was a big football player, he got all of his scholarships taken away, and just everyone kind of gets involved to make it more realistic. Drinking and driving is really serious. Like I stated, every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies from alcohol-related collision. The National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence Incorporated states that car crashes are the leading cause of death for teens, and about a quarter of those crashes involved in underage drinking and driving. I know some of you admitted anonymously to my survey on SurveyMonkey that you have gotten behind the wheel under the influence, and you are part of the 29.1 million people who have also admitted to this statistic as well. Also found within the NCADDI, you can read that alcohol is a depressant, and because it slows down the functions of the central nervous system, the normal brain functioning is delayed, which is can't function normally, such as driving. Drinking and driving doesn't only affect you, but it affects everyone around you. Another program called Shattered Dreams has published journal by Robin S. Powers Jarvis where she shares her experiences and a bunch of students explaining how they were about to get behind the wheel or do something and they changed their mind because of these programs like these. I have the letter that my best friend's mom wrote to her when she died, and it just shows that, as she couldn't even read it because she was crying so much, that it really affected her and how serious the program is. I hope you can see by the program every 15 minutes and the statistics dealing with drinking and driving that under the influence is more serious than we really think it is, especially as college students drinking and partying every weekend. There's always another option, especially in this day and age. Every 15 minutes really taught me how serious it is to get behind the wheel or get in the car with someone under the influence, and I hope we can look into more programs that do the same.